This is Peter Jennings. On World News Tonight, is an asteroid really on the way to do serious damage to the Earth? It's a Hollywood movie plot, and real scientists say there's a real danger tonight on ABC 7.
You can communicate with us on the WLS Ace Hardware fax line at 312-984-5283.
Willkommen. That's welcome in Chrysler talk. It's 7:11, 11 past 7.
Is it Daimler or Daimler?
Daimler.
Why'd they say Daimler on TV everywhere?
I don't know. Tonight is the penultimate Seinfeld episode. If your little clock radio has just gone off, good morning. I'm Don Wade. There's Roma. We have Bullworth tickets to give away this morning, a big bunch of those for a sneak. We've got the airport security joke. We're going to get to that. Kerry Wood, holy cow. Michael Jordan dies in the third quarter. The Hornets kind of did the Bulls in. So now we've got ourselves a real playoff. We've got the Marines invading Chicago, and we're going to be down there joining them at about, is it 8 o'clock? We're going into the manholes, under the bridges, over the skyscrapers with the United States Marines here in Chicago.
Aren't we excited about that? And did you realize that Kerry Wood is so young he wouldn't even be able to go to the rooftops around Wrigley Field and drink a beer to celebrate?
He lives at home with his mom, doesn't he?
Practically.
Doesn't he?
He's a baby.
He's 20.
He's 20.
Probably still lives at home with his parents.
Amazing skill for this guy. And he's your height, 6'5".
That's right. And, George Will and Ariana Huffington will be here tomorrow morning. You'll be able to talk to them. Let's see. Cokie Roberts will be in as well. So
everybody's jamming in here tomorrow.
So we got Cokie Roberts, George Will, and Ariana Huffington all with us as guests tomorrow. By the way, there's another story that's big today. The date rape drug,
what's this?
Rohypnol.
Yeah.
They call them roofies. They call them rib. They call them rofies, ropies, rope. All those names. Turns out it's the girl's drug of choice.
They take them for fun.
They take them for fun.
Okay, we'll get to that too.
And Viagra, how to use the word. And let's see, tonight I mentioned it's the Seinfeld penultimate.
That's correct.
Last night there was a Bill Gates reference on Jay Leno, and I thought it was important that we repeat what Jay said.
But what else happened? Bill Gates, the billionaire, he bought a painting by Winslow Homer for $30 million. $30 million for one Homer. Well, that's what the White Sox got with Albert Bell, and that's about right.
Jay Leno reads the papers. He's got a pretty good handle on what's going on.
He's doing such a great Chicago show. You got to love him, even if he wasn't your favorite before.
7:13 at WLS. If any passenger at OHare would have tried to play a prank like the one that we're going to tell you about, they would have ended up in jail, facing a fine of up to $250,000. You've probably all seen that big warning sign at the airport: no false statements. No joking. It turns out that does not apply to the security guards. 16-year-old Peter Andrukaitis put a laptop computer into an X-ray machine at a security checkpoint last month at OHare and then walked through a metal detector, totally unprepared for what was about to happen. Security guards grabbed his computer and threatened the Oak Park boy and his mom.
And at that point I was saying, what's the problem? There's a problem with this bag, ma'am. And then he ignores me and looks back at Peter and says, step over here and put your hands behind your back.
One of them said to his partner, do you have your handcuffs? And they're like, can you step over there? Put your hands behind your back.
What are you thinking at that point?
Oh, no, I don't want to go to jail.
Fearing something had been planted in the computer, the two, Andrew and his mom, were now terrified until their terror turned to anger.
And that's the point at which they said April Fool and started laughing.
But you didn't laugh?
No, I did not laugh. I don't think I laughed for several days.
After the April Fool's incident, there was a lot of buck passing, and it turns out that Northwest Airlines is actually in charge of security at Terminal 2, but it has contracted out to to an Ohio-based company called International Total Services that actually hires these security guards. ITS says that one employee has been fired and the investigation is now over. The city of Chicago says that's not good enough.
We have been quite adamant with the airlines in this case to let them know that we're concerned about this event occurring.
If I had said, oh ho, I have a weapon in my bag April Fool on April 1st, it wouldn't have mattered. I would have gone straight to jail.
Yep. City aviation officials say they are pressing for a new investigation in this case. Unhappy, the security guard who did most of the talking in this prank has not yet been identified. One of his accomplices has been fired after the Andrukaitis family complained. Officials say the man admitted a number of similar pranks were played on a number of travelers at OHare last April Fool's Day. Training is pretty poor for most of the security guards, according to Channel 2. 2 days, if that, and pay is low. Some of the security guards actually leave their jobs to go to work at fast food restaurants in order to get a raise.
A pay raise. That's sad.
Officials say this is the first time they've heard of such a stunt, and it may be worth studying. Maybe the laws should be applied to the guards as well. What do you think? This Channel 2 report was fascinating, and I was amazed when Mike Flannery reported this. That it would happen.
But it brings up several questions. They did this to lots of travelers at OHare on April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
This one woman and her son complained. That's it. They haven't heard from any of the rest of them. Would you have thought it was funny?
591-8900. Would you have thought it was funny?
Is it just that these people don't have a sense of humor? The woman took it very seriously. She said she did not laugh for several days afterward. Would you have thought it was funny if they detained your 16-year-old, were talking about, do you have your handcuffs? Put your hands behind your back?
May have to take you to jail.
Right. And the 16-year-old is freaked out. And he does not look... If you have seen him, he does not look at all like anybody you would suspect of anything.
Doesn't fit the profile of your terrorist.
No, he looks like a studious kid. You know, he looks like just a normal kid, right?
Well,
so the question is this funny? There were lots of other passengers who had this trick played on them. Not any of them have complained.
Well, here's a question that you could ask. Same question, Roma. If you're going through the line and you say, wow, check my bag. I think it's got a bomb in it.
Well, no, they have a sign that says no false statements and no joking.
Well, it's not a joke. The bomb means it's a record that I just recorded. It's really going to be terrible. It won't sell a lot.
We know
it's going to be a bomb.
If you were a passenger going through those.
Well, I thought it was funny.
But these people, yeah, well, we've seen that happen before at OHare, and we've seen people pay big, big fines.
Well, the guard thought it was funny.
But the guard didn't have to go through security. The guard just works there. The sign does not apply to the guard.
All right,
and it is not in their rules that they can't joke.
Let's talk to Jan in LaGrange. Jan, good morning. You're on WLS.
Yes, good morning.
Don, Roma.
Hi, Jan.
Hey. I just switched radio stations this morning, so I'm a little new to this, guys.
Okay, well, great. I'm glad you're aboard.
Welcome to the best source of information and opinion.
Thank you. You seem to have the most interesting talk going on. So I'd like to respond to this. I would not think this is funny at all, especially if I had a teenager. And let me explain. My two children have taken plane trips with their schools. And when we have parent meetings about them taking these trips, we are told to stress to our children they are not to joke at all when they go to the security, not to bring anything, pocket knives, anything with them that could be misconstrued. And when I heard this lady's voice this morning and her son's voice, I thought, this is not funny. We are trying to teach our children not to joke around about this stuff, especially teenagers who, you know, they have a little looser sense of humor than we do.
That's right. They're off base most of the time. They're a little looser.
Well, a lot of kids have not seen perhaps the film clips of planes that have blown up, that have been terrorized, pilots and passengers shot by terrorists on foreign tarmac.
But the kid didn't do anything wrong.
So kids don't see the severity of all of this.
I don't know about that. I mean, if he's in high school, most of the high school classes that my daughter's been through, their current events are very current, and they talk about this stuff, even at the junior highs.
I think, in fact, most good teachers make them become aware of current events, and they discuss things like that in class. So I think you've got a really good point. But these security guards don't have any such rules applying to them. So is it the fault of the security guard, or is it the fault of their training?
I would definitely think it's both. If you work at that airline, at the airport, at the security, and it says no joking, I'm sure that they can read 2 words, no joking. If they expect the passengers not to joke, why would the employees think any different?
If these are the very people, if these security guards are the very people who will apprehend you for making a joke, how is it that they feel free to do exactly what you are going to be thrown in jail and fined $250,000 for doing? Well, how do they feel that they can do it?
I guess it's a misuse of their power.
But they had so many people go through that they played these jokes on, and only this pair got upset.
Well, when I've listened to that lady's voice and her son's voice, she sounded like this was a teenager. He sounded like this was a teenager who was on the ball. He was frightened.
Yeah, he was scared.
Yeah.
And he looks like a real bright kid.
I mean, just listening, they sounded like they had it on the ball, and this kid was scared, and he had been taught the right thing. I mean, his mom, was very lucid when she was speaking. I'd be livid if that was it happened to myself and my teenager, and maybe other people who went through were adults or business people, and their concern was just get me through here and get me on the plane.
Jan, I think you have a right to be outraged, and I thank you for calling this morning.
We're glad you found us today.
I'll see you tomorrow morning, too.
Okay, great.
Good. 7:22, the WLS Chicagoland weather.
Cooler today, periods of showers, a few thunderstorms with a high of 65. Tonight, a 70% chance of rain, low of 50. And for Friday, a 40% chance of showers with a high of 66.
The marine forecast, east to northeast winds 15 to 20 knots, increasing to northeast 15 to 25 knots. Showers and thunderstorms, waves 2 to 4 feet, building to 4 to 6. A small craft advisory may be issued later this morning. 58 at O'Hare, 59 at Midway, DuPage 59. The Lakefront 54, and at 7:23, the WLS traffic. Here is Rick Federici.
Here we go with our travel time rundown. 45 on the Edens either way between Lake Cook and the Kennedy. In on the Kennedy, 41 from the airport to downtown. An hour and 15 moving outbound from the Ohio Street feeder into O'Hare. Call ahead on your flights at O'Hare and Midway and allot yourself the extra time this morning. An hour and 5 either way on the 290 between Route 53 and the post office. A mess on North 355, 53 on that combo platter. And southbound, just a mess between Rand and Euclid. North 55, one long wall of traffic between Lamont Road on the far end of 55 all the way into the Dan Ryan. Wow. And the Ryan about 42 from 95th Street through downtown. This report is brought to you by Irv's Menswear. Shop Irv's 30th year anniversary sale and get a little crazy with extra special savings on suits and sport coats, even slacks, rainwear, and selected items. Now through May 31st only, so hurry into Irv's today. Irv's stores for men, 4 locations, 1 near you. When you're on the go and you need to know, Chicago's News Talk 89, WLS.
7:23 at WLS. Mother's Day is coming up, and you've got no idea what to buy, do you?
You're clueless.
I don't know.
Yes, he doesn't want flowers. What are you going to do?
How about this? Here's a suggestion. America's Finest Pasta Sauces is what you can give her. The original Pasta Sauce of the Month Club makes it so easy. Each charming gift box includes 2 26-ounce jars of sauce, each from a different restaurant in a different city. Plus, imported Dell'Alpe pasta, recipes from the chefs, club newsletter, personal gift message from you. Now, these are the original restaurant creations, so your mom can dine at the finest Italian restaurants without ever leaving home. And
she's going to be so grateful.
And you get to eat some of this.
She comes in, she's tired, she's exhausted, and without any thought, little effort, she can enjoy a great dinner, delicious, healthy, ready in minutes.
And everybody's happy.
Yeah, because you can go over and mooch off your mom.
That's right. Month after month, she'll think of you, her favorite son, her favorite daughter. Yeah, you be the favorite one. How about setting her up for a couple of months? Or, well, you go anywhere from 2 to 12 months.
Sure.
Depends how much you love your mother.
If you love her just a little bit.
Just give her 2 months.
If you love her a whole lot.
Give her 12 months.
And
right? Call 1-800-55-SAUCE. Gift giving doesn't get easier than this. Call 1-800-55-SAUCE. 1-800-55-SAUCE.
Can you feel the love?
725 WLS.